Let's make sure I'm unmuted. Yes, perfect. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastic on Facebook as well as on YouTube and TikTok. Hope you're doing fantastic this evening. This live stream is about starting and growing your side hustle. And the focus here this evening is to support the Money Smart Week South Africa campaign, which is taking place, as you can see here, from the 28th of August until the 3rd of September this year. And it is all about sharing financial literacy with people that are looking to create a better financial future for themselves. So Weide-Market is on a mission to help people create genuine wealth in their lives. And I want to share this information with as many people as I can, which is why I'm streaming to Facebook and TikTok and YouTube simultaneously. Like I said earlier, unfortunately, I'm sitting in load shedding, but the show must go on. So if you could like this live stream, wherever you're following from, I'd really appreciate that. Thank you very much. So please say hi in the comments if there's anything you'd like to ask about starting or growing a side hustle. Hey, Ethan, welcome back. Good to see you again. Tapelo, Myla, good evening. JC, Wendy, good evening from TikTok. And good evening to everybody on Facebook and YouTube. Great to have you. I want to start sharing a couple of statistics around small businesses in South Africa, or small businesses and the contribution small businesses make in the world. Let me just open up that file quickly. Give me a second. Nkosi ZA, Khali, Mr. Scam Exposer. I love that. I hope you're exposing a lot of scams. There's a lot of them out there for sure. Top Ramen, good evening. Hi NK, or hey NK. Derma Store, good evening. So right now, I want to start off by just sharing a few things about small businesses and how the small businesses work in the market. So small to medium enterprises is said to play a major role in most economies, especially developing countries like South Africa and other countries in Africa. SMEs, in other words, small to medium enterprises, account for the majority of businesses worldwide and are important contributors to job creation and global economic development. So SMEs represent about 90% of all businesses and more than 50% of employment in worldwide. So in the global economy, SMEs contribute 90% of business and do 50% of employment on a global basis. If you want to have more, and I'll share this link up to the live feed on Facebook and YouTube. Unfortunately, I'll share it later on the live stream as well, but you can find it at theworldbank.org and then search for SME finance, and you can see details about what the SME finance does and how the statistics look for small to medium enterprises in the world. Guys on TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube, if you could like this live stream and share it with your friends, I'll really appreciate that as well. Some more interesting statistics more in South Africa, closer to home. Another interesting statistic is that currently in South Africa, medium or micro to small to medium enterprises, so micro being one-man companies and larger, and then obviously small to medium enterprises, contribute more than 40% of our total GDP. So our GDP, gross domestic profit, is contributed towards by the medium to small and medium enterprises in South Africa to the excess of 40% of our global our GDP in South Africa. And these micro to small and medium enterprises contribute more than 80%, 87% to be exact, of all employment in South Africa. So this is quite an interesting statistic, and this is why it is important that we support small businesses, especially local businesses in South Africa. To the guys on TikTok, thanks for joining this live. Unfortunately, like I said, I'm sitting in load shedding, so apologies for the bad lighting. If you could like and share this live stream, I'll really appreciate it. The other interesting thing is that in the National Development Plan announced by our president, micro and small medium enterprises are at the forefront of addressing poverty and creating much needed jobs in South Africa. So employment and the problem with unemployment in South Africa can be addressed and can be alleviated by supporting and starting small to medium enterprises. And this is why I feel so strongly about this. I'm really passionate about starting the side hustles and helping people start and grow their side hustles. So some of the things we'll be discussing during the rest of this live stream is taking the first step. Where do you start? The 6 P's of business, action-oriented learning. So in other words, taking action and learning through taking action. And then we'll look at interactive activity where we'll brainstorm a little bit about what different types of businesses can be suitable for starting side hustles. And maybe we'll even discuss a little bit about how to make money online. And then we'll talk a little bit about success stories and genuine wealth. And we'll wrap up with the Q&A at the end. So who am I? Who is Jurie Weidemann? Or Coach Jurie W, as I stand, my handle on Instagram is Coach_Jurie W. So I'm active in business development sales during the day. I work for an international German industrial electronics manufacturer, and I work in the industrial automation space as a salesperson and business development. So after hours, my side hustle is Weide-Market, where I do consulting for business development and helping companies and helping entrepreneurs understand their businesses and grow their businesses more effectively. I'm a father, I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a friend, I'm an enthusiast when it comes to life. I'm high on life, I'm high on energy, and I really enjoy living. So that's me in a nutshell. I really am very passionate about Africa. I'm very passionate about South Africa. And I really want to help people grow into their full potential. And that includes potentially starting a business and growing it into a full grown asset. So when we talk about assets and we talk about money and we talk about financial literacy, it is important to understand that there are different types of assets. You get productive assets, you get income generating assets, and you get assets that you own that you can later sell at a profit. That doesn't necessarily add value to you right now, but in the future, you could potentially make a profit out of it. On TikTok, Lisa, Habiba, good evening, guys. Dinky, good evening. It's great to see you guys. Thanks for this live. Remember to like the live stream on TikTok and on Facebook and YouTube as well. I also do workshops. So I do workshops for entrepreneurs where I take them through the basics of business, and I'll discuss those basics briefly during this live stream. I just hope my torch and my laptop battery lasts until 8 o'clock when the power comes back on. I aim to finish by 8 o'clock as well. So if you can stick around, I'll appreciate that as well. Right. So a very important thing about money is that we should not believe that money can solve all our problems. Let me just do this quickly. Share. Right. So we should not believe that money solves all our problems, because otherwise we'll end up doing anything for money. Now, on screen, I'm saying everything, but if you believe money will solve all your problems, then you will do absolutely anything to gain money from that. And that's not necessarily the best thing to do, especially when it comes to trying to get money. Good evening, Derek, and out of the closet. Good evening. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining this live stream on TikTok as well as on Facebook and YouTube as well. So, our mindset and our attitude towards income and towards money is very important if we wish to be making a difference in our finances. So, let's talk a little bit about genuine wealth. We often talk about wealth being connected to finances, and we talk about how finances create wealth in our lives. But I truly have learned that wealth is not just about the abundance of finances in our lives, but it also about the abundance of quality relationships in our lives, as well as holistic health, and holistic health being mind, body, and spirit. And then how do we balance all of this with the 24 hours we have? And that is the abundance of available time in our calendar. And we do this by controlling the time that we have available to us, by planning what we want to do with that time and setting out our schedules according to what we want to do and the things we want to invest time in. Now, you can also see that these things are interdependent. If you have abundant money, you are more able to have free time available to do things you want to do. If you have abundant quality relationships, your health, your mindset, your body, and your spirit is more healthy because you have quality relationships of people to support you with. By the way, I saw a video by Simon Sinek this week, actually, where he talks about burnout. And he says that often we look at someone else who has achieved a certain level of success and we think, wow, that's something I want to aspire to. But what we don't see is the quality relationships that they have. And those quality relationships supports them, and they support the quality relationships in their lives to help each other achieve great things. But the mistake we make is that we think that we can achieve that level of success just by doing it on our own, and we run out of energy. And this is where burnout comes from, is that we want to achieve the same success as someone else without the same level of relationships that they have, or without the same level of expertise that they have. And we think to ourselves, but if they can do it, we can do it. But the thing we then miss out on is the quality relationships to help us achieve our goals while we help other people achieve their goals. So if you want to achieve more, you want to be able to add more value, and you do that by helping other people achieve their goals. And as we achieve our goals and we help other people achieve our goals, we obviously increase our income potential. Because we have better income and more abundant finances, we are more able to spend money on our health and invest in our health. And we are also able to help people with their finances by investing in them and investing in companies that they want to start up with. So you can see that with genuine wealth, if you consider four circles of genuine wealth being finances, uh, um, quality relationships, the quality abundant relationships, I mean, abundant health and abundant time, and how all of this ties together. For me, where all four intersect is where our purpose sits. So, what is our purpose? And our purpose should tie all of our activities in our finances, in our relationships, in our health, and the time we have All of this should be tied into our purpose so that all of our activities and choices and things that we do from a day-to-day basis actually have meaning and mean something in the long term. So I'd like to ask anybody on Facebook and YouTube as well as on TikTok, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. If you have any comments about your own struggles about side hustle or starting a business or even just growing your current business, let me know in the comments and we can address that as well. So the next thing I wanted to share is that in South Africa, there are an estimate of 2.6 million. Sorry, let me just get that up again. 2.6 million micro, small, and medium enterprises in South Africa, where about 37 are considered formal of the total, and 54 are micro enterprises, while 15% of these 2.6 million micro enterprises are considered to be or said to be in rural areas. So this is quite an interesting statistic. And did you know that there's a book called Kazinomics, which deals specifically with economics in rural areas and how in the Kazi, it is estimated that the Kazi economy is in excess of R1 billion economy on a yearly basis. So there's definitely space to start and grow businesses in South Africa. And we might be saying that, yeah, things are tough, things are bad, BE and this and global economy that. But there are businesses in South Africa that are thriving. There are businesses in Africa that are thriving. And I believe the difference is in the dynamic of the team, the dynamic of the leadership in that business. Are they dynamic enough to make the necessary changes to adapt to the needs of the market that they serve? And this is an important question we all need to ask ourselves. Do we have the right mindset to build and grow something, or are we just sitting and waiting for someone to come save us? In the words of Mrs. Robinson, what's her name? I forget her name now, but she says she's famously quoted for saying, "Nobody is coming to save you. If you want to make a difference and make a positive change in your own life, you have to do it yourself." And by the way, I recently finished the book by James Clear, Atomic Habits. And if we want to make differences, we don't need to make quantum leaps forward. We just need to make small incremental improvements in all areas of our lives, in our finances, in our quality relationships, in our health, and in the way we spend and invest our time, so that we can make the small incremental changes and over time create growth and create momentum. This brings me to the next topic that I want to discuss. So I've discussed the importance of side hustles and how it contributes to GDP and how it contributes to unemployment. It also offers us the possibility to secure our financial security and improve our financial security and also our personal fulfillment. In other words, being able to do something that we are passionate about and that we love to do. So successful businesses can be started and can grow. Side hustles do start and do grow into full-blown businesses. If you consider Apple, if you consider Google, if you consider some of these major tech companies today, many of these companies have started back in 1980s, 1950s as garage companies. I mean, if you look at Amazon, Jeff Bezos started Amazon in the back of his house, in the garage of his house. So if you have big dreams, it's not too late to start. I saw a video today of Elon Musk talking about how he was completely broke when he started his first business. And him and his business partner lived in an office block just to be able to keep their expenses as low as possible because they did not have money when they started. So something that's really come to the forefront in recent times is the gig economy. Doing gigs for people and doing contracts, taking on contracts as part-time work to be able to increase your income or to really add value to people that you want to work with. And if you get good at doing gig jobs for people, then you can really choose who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. So when we look at how do we get started, what is the first step? What should we be doing to be able to start that first business? How do we get started? Well, the first step is to just get started, to be honest. You don't necessarily have to find the perfect product. You don't necessarily want to find the perfect business before you start. The 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 way you start a business is to start. Now, your first business you start will probably not be your successful business. In fact, you'll have to iterate and find what you are good at, what you can get paid for, and what the world or what the market needs. So, what is it that you can bring to the market that people actually want to pay you for? And what are you good enough at and unique enough at to start a business around? Now, many times we we believe that we can't start a business because we don't have money to start a business. You don't need money to start a business. You need a customer. You need someone that is willing to pay you for the solution that you are available, willing and able to provide. That is how you start the business. You get that first customer, get them to pay you for the solution or the product that you provide, and then you carry on finding more customers and finding out from your first customer what you did well and what you didn't do well, so that at your next customer you do those things better and do bigger jobs and find more customers up to such a point where you can have multiple customers doing business with you, and then you can start a business. So I had a discussion with an accounting friend the other day, and he was saying he suggests to his customers that if you want to start a business, start as a sole proprietor. So in South Africa today, there are two ways that you can start a business. You can either be a sole proprietor or you can be you register a P2I Ltd. That's the only two ways you can start and run a business in South Africa. As a sole proprietor, you can open a business account and have all the kind of benefits around that. And again, it is important to separate your personal finances and your business finances from each other. There's a whole myriad of different nuances around that. I won't get into that kind of detail right now. So, getting started is about taking that first step and taking the leap and getting started. Now, why am I so passionate about a side hustle rather than quitting your job and starting a business from scratch? I believe that you can use your experience at work to gain knowledge and experience about how a business runs and not just know how to do your job, but know how to find different things and different opportunities to learn as much as you possibly can if you have a day job, and then use that experience and that knowledge to start and implement into your side hustle. Hopefully you are in a job that you learn the things that you want to offer in your business. And by the way, doing business on the side does not necessarily mean you have to buy and sell something online. It does not mean that you have to even sell a product. You can provide a service for people after hours. So for example, my business Weide-Market provides business development consulting to businesses and entrepreneurs, and I do this part time. And I make this clear from the discussions I have with customers to make sure that there's a common understanding of what we want to do. So, the common challenges in starting a business is that we have a misconception of what it takes to start a business. I think it is important to realize, like I mentioned earlier, that you can start a business by just having your first customer and have a customer be willing to pay you. The catalyst for growth is getting that first customer to pay you and getting feedback from that customer about what you can do better and how you can serve other customers with the same service that they were willing to pay you for. And maybe they can even refer you to other customers or other friends and family that they think might want to use your service. So let's talk about the 6 P's of business shortly. The 6 P's of business. This is an extract from the workshop that I do called the Master of Business in the Streets, and it is about doing going through the basics of understanding, running, and growing a business. The 6 P's of business is plan, product, price, um, paperwork, process, and promotion. So let's cover each of these in a little bit more detail. So in the previous slide, I spoke about just getting started with your business. Obviously, you want to have some kind of idea of what the business should be doing. Obviously, you want to have some kind of idea of how you're going to reach the people that you want to reach. But starting is how you start a business. Find someone that is willing to pay you for what service or product or solution that you can provide and get them to pay you. In fact, get them to pay a 50% upfront deposit so that you know that they are committed and you have an initial cash to cover your initial costs. So, once you've started your business, then you want to be able to create a plan for that business. How do you plan on producing the solution? How do you plan on producing the product? How do you plan on getting that product or solution to the people that want to pay you for it? Hello, little piggy number 2 on TikTok. Let's trade and make money. Good evening. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining this live stream on TikTok as well. Good evening, Juice. How's it, Derek? I see you popping in and out. Please remember to like this live stream on TikTok as well as on Facebook and YouTube as well. I'll appreciate that a lot. So back to the 6 P's of business. You want to have a plan. You want to have a plan for you personally, and you want to have a plan for your business. You also want to have a plan for the environment that you do business in. So let's say you have a restaurant in your neighborhood or a coffee shop in your neighborhood, um, and you want to be able to do business in this neighborhood. You need to have a plan of how you manage your personal life and your business life, and then you want to have a plan for your business so that you know what your business should be doing and how you're going to be doing business. But you also want to have a plan for the surrounding areas in your home area and your business area because you want to be able to produce a conducive environment to live in and do business in. So this is why you need 3 plans. You need a personal plan, a personal development plan to be more precise, a business plan, and a community plan or a community project plan. Excuse me. Next up, you want to be able to identify the product that you want to bring to your market. So, what is the product? How do you plan on either producing or procuring that product? Your product can be a solution, your product can be a service. What is that service? How do you define that service? And how do you promote that service? So, promotion is another P from the 6 P's of business. How do you reach your target market? Who is your target market? And we'll talk a little bit more about that before we end this webinar this evening. So, you've got a plan for your personal life, you've got a plan for your business, you've got a plan for your community surrounding your personal life and your business. You've got a product, you know what that product costs, you know what it costs to get that product to your premises or to your customer. You know what it means to give your money back to the customer if they're not fully satisfied with the product and or solution. Then you need to put all of these things together to create the price for your product and or solution. How do you price that? How do you put a price into the market that doesn't put you out of the market? But how do you also put a price on something that customers are willing to pay and see the value in what they are paying for? So customers will pay any price for something as long as they see the benefit and the value of what they're buying from you. So say, for example, you have a high ticket product. Like like Nike shoes. Let's take Nike as an example. A pair of Nike shoes cost anything from 1,000 to 3,000 rand, depending on what brand or what type of Nike shoe you take. People are willing to buy that. The people that are willing to buy that at that price are willing to buy it because of what the brand does for them, what benefit they get out of it. Another person who doesn't have any interest in shoes will gladly pay 400 Rand for a pair of shoes because they don't care about the brand of the shoes. So they don't see the value in paying 2,000 Rand for a pair of shoes. Whereas someone who finds value from wearing a Nike branded pair of shoes will gladly pay 2,000 Rand or more from those shoes or for those shoes. So it really depends on what your target market is to determine what your price ticket for that product or solution is. The next thing is paperwork, and this is really something that I've learned where many businesses, especially side hustles and small entrepreneurs, fail their businesses is that they don't put the paperwork in place. So what kind of paperwork are we talking about? Here, I'm not necessarily talking about the legal licenses to be able to do business in a certain place and do a certain type of business. Here, I'm talking about the paperwork for your business. What is the budget for your business? What is your financial forecast? What do you foresee your costs to be? How much do you pay yourself? How do you keep record of the people you owe money for or the people that owe you money? How do you keep record of how much profit are you making and what are the costs in the business? You don't know these things if you don't keep record of it. And if you do a day's business, you will not necessarily record all of this at the end of the day. And this is why it is important to record transactions as they happen so that you can create the cash flow reports in your business. At the end of the day, you need to report all of this to SARS in South Africa, to other revenue services, depending on where you are. So the paperwork is something that you need to do, and you need to do this diligently. This brings me to the next P, which is process. The paperwork forms part of the process of your business. What are the processes of your business? What is the marketing process? How do I reach my target market? What is the procurement process? How do I procure what I want? And how do I invoice that to my customer? How do I generate invoices? What does my invoices look like? So all of these kind of things is the process within your business. And you need to be able to have these processes set in place if you wish your business to grow into the future. Or if you want to employ people, you need to tell them this is the process of how I like my business to be done. And this is the process how customers want it to be done so that they have a good customer experience of my business and want to come back to do business with me and with us again. And this also ties into promotion. How do I promote my business? How do I brand my business? What is the brand of my business? What is the slogan for my business? So, for example, my business is Weide-Market. So, Weide-Market is derived from my surname, Weidemann, Jurie Weidemann, and market obviously being a marketplace. How do I market myself? How do I reach people in the market? And my slogan is your genuine wealth partner. So I spoke about genuine wealth earlier in this live stream. Genuine wealth, I really feel is something that we need to talk about more. How do we create genuine wealth in our lives? And it is not just about creating more income. In fact, on Monday evening, I did a talk on how debt enslaves and how we need to be better with our money that we do have so that we can put our money to work instead of us only working for our money. And debt and more income is not the solution. Working better with what we have and setting things in motion now so that we have a foundation to build on is the way to build genuine wealth. So these are the 6 P's of business. You have to have a plan for your personal growth, your personal development, a plan for your business and your business growth, and a plan for your community and your community growth and what impact you and your business have in the community. And the community could be your customers as well, or the place that they move and work into. The product, the price, the paperwork, the process, and the promotion. Okay, thanks for liking this live. I appreciate it. Barry, thanks for joining. It's great to have you guys here. Please remember to like the live stream on TikTok as well as on Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate that a lot. So, moving on to our next topic, and this is action-orientated learning. So, earlier I said that the first step is to get started. Get started with putting the plan in place. Get started with finding the product. And it could be any product. It doesn't have to be the perfect product. In fact, it should not be the perfect product. There is no such thing as a perfect product. There is no such thing as a perfect business. There is no such thing as a perfect time. In fact, I saw a thing today that many of the bigger businesses that we see today only started um, by their founders later in life. So, for example, if we look at um, the guy who founded WhatsApp, let me just get it on screen quickly. Jan Koum, who founded WhatsApp, only founded WhatsApp when he was 35. Uh, Mark Pincus, who founded Zynga, only did this when he was 41 years old. Robin Chase founded Zipcar when he was 42. Robert Noyce founded Intel when he was 41. Ray Kroc started McDonald's when he was 52 already. John Pemberton invented Coca-Cola when he was 55. Colonel Sanders, Heartland Sanders, started KFC when he was 65. So it's never too late to start your own business. It is about getting started and learning the lessons along the way. Learning the lessons is more important. And like I said earlier, your first business you start is not necessarily the business that's going to be successful. You will start businesses and you will fail at those businesses. You will learn lessons along the way. And you cannot learn these lessons by reading books. You have to break the learning cycle. So, breaking the learning cycle means you read the books, you gain the experience, you talk to people, you get mentors, you watch YouTube videos. But if you never go over to action, you're continuously just learning. And the more you learn, the less action you take, and you never get to do the thing that you learn about. So, something I try and do is take at least one thing from every book or every YouTube video I read or watch and action that, execute on the things that I want to improve and execute on the things that I want to learn about so that I can move forward from the things that I've not been able to do effectively. These are just some of the benefits of action oriented learning. Take action, speak to peers, speak to people in the market, speak to customers, speak to potential customers, speak to colleagues, build a network. It is often said that your net worth is connected to your network. So you have to have people in your life. Like I said earlier, one of the pillars of genuine wealth is quality relationships in your life. Layla Tanter, good evening. Eddie Bear, good evening on TikTok. Great to have you guys here. Please remember to like this live stream. I really appreciate that as well. And share it with anybody who wants to know about starting or growing their side hustle. This live stream will be available on a recording on YouTube. So you can always go to the YouTube channel, Weide-Market. That's Weidemarket. And you can find this live stream on YouTube as well as on Facebook as well. So that's action-oriented learning. So let's do a little quick interactive in the comments. Let me know what kind of side hustle do you think is something? Let's brainstorm a little. What kind of things could work as side hustles? Good evening, Bongani. Raina Lopez, good evening on YouTube. HB, good evening on TikTok as well. Let me know in the comments, guys and ladies. What do you think are good things to start a side hustle with? So let me get you started. You could start a side hustle blogging. You could start a side hustle online tutoring. You could start a side hustle by being a virtual assistant. Let me know if any of these appeal to you. You could be starting a side hustle by being a bartender. That's obviously a second job, so it's not really a side hustle. You could be an event planner. You could be an Airbnb host. This is something you could do part time. You could start doing surveys online. You could start a YouTube channel, a TikTok channel. You could start an Instagram page. You can start freelance writing. These are all things you can do after your day job. If you're technical, you could start testing websites for people. You could sell Canva templates. There are so many different things we could potentially do to start side hustles and create extra income for ourselves. What are some of the things in the comments that share some of the comments? I mean, share some of the ideas you have in the comments. Alroy, how's it? Alroy, you've been on here for a while. Let me know. What do you think a good side hustle would be for you? Good evening, May Mankies. Gabriel Nail on TikTok. Good evening. Bongani, Derek, let me know, guys. So here are some more ideas for side hustles. You could do babysitting. You could write resume CVs for people. You could start selling on. You could do drop shipping. You could be creating content online. There are so many different things. And by the way, doing business online doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sell products online. You could really promote your services online as well and find customers online that you wouldn't necessarily be able to find in your day-to-day living. So let's move on to our next topic, and that is, why do you believe businesses exist? Let me know. Why do businesses exist? Do businesses exist to make the entrepreneurs that start them wealthy? Do businesses exist to move money around? Why do you believe businesses exist? Fabian, good evening. Inspired Styles on TikTok, good evening. Let me know, guys. What do you think? What are the reasons businesses get started? Hein van den Berg, Inspired Styles, Aerospot business page. Good evening, guys. Welcome to this live stream. Let me know, why do you believe businesses start? Let me know in the comments. Why do businesses exist? Why do people start businesses? Guys, feel free to leave a comment. All right. So I'm not getting any response from anybody on TikTok, nor am I getting a response from anybody watching on YouTube or Facebook. So I'll just go ahead and share my ideas of why I think businesses get started. So Inspired Styles on TikTok says, cause of niches in the market, otherwise cause to generate passive income. All right. So passive income is something that can be created by businesses, but passive income is not something that a business runs on. What is the reason a business starts? Why does a business exist? I'll tell you why I think businesses exist or why businesses get started. So the first thing is that a business gets started by someone who is a technician. Now, I don't mean a technical person. I mean a technician in terms of the expert in a business, the person who delivers on the quality product and or service of a business. They look at the business that they work for and they think, I can do this better. And then they start a business. Good evening, Francha. Welcome on TikTok. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think? Why do businesses get started? So, like I said, the technician, the expert in a business starts a business because he or she believes that he or she can do it better than what their current employer is doing. So they resign and they start their own business. They take a few customers and they start delivering on a product. They frantically work, and the technician in a business likes getting involved in the work of delivering the product. They like making the product. They like making things and creating a quality product for their customers. But sooner or later, they start realizing that, oh no, I don't know how to run a business. I know how to provide the product. I know how to provide the service. I am an expert in what I do. I am the technical person from where I worked, but I don't know how to run a business. And then they start looking for either going back to where they worked before, or they, if they're smart, they start managing the different tasks in the business. So instead of working in the business, now they're starting to work on the business. So then they develop a managerial personality in the business, and then they start working on creating the processes that make the business run, and they start making sure that these processes run while they deliver the quality product and or solution. But then they start getting tied up. They don't know how to do all of these things. They don't know how to reach new customers. They don't know how to expand the business. And then they start developing the entrepreneurship mindset. And now they start looking at, where does the business need to go? What managerial processes do I need to put in place to make the business grow to where I want it to make it grow? And then the next thing is, the reason I believe businesses exist and the business, why businesses survive, is because they understand that they are adding value to their customers. They remain customer centric, and they remain wanting to add value and creating a product or solution that adds value to their customers' lives. And that is why businesses exist. The money in a business, the money flow in and out of a business, is the fuel for the business. It's the thing that makes the business run. It's the thing that enable the business to employ people and experts to operate the business. But a business doesn't exist to make money. A business exists to add value to its customers. That is the sole reason a business exists, to add value. The more value a business adds to its customers, the more money flows into the business. And then the business can use that cash flow to employ more experts, put better processes in place, improve the product offering or the solution service to their customer, and so create more value for the customer. So, why do businesses exist? I believe that businesses exist to add value to a specific niche within the market. So, yes, a business exists to serve a niche, but the business doesn't exist to make money. The business exists to add value to its customers. Right. Having said that, how do we grow a business? So we've just spoken about starting a business. We've spoken about creating a plan for the business. We've spoken about creating the paperwork for the business. But how do we actually grow the business? So, like I said earlier, you do not need a perfect product. You need a customer that is willing to pay you for the product and or solution that you are able to provide. And then as you add value to that customer will be willing to pay you and refer you to other people that will need the same business service or product that you can deliver. So as you gain more customers and gain more feedback, and this is the other important thing, you need to get feedback from your customers about what it is that they want from you. What do your customers want? Provide that to your customers and your business will grow. So a tool that I use in my business consulting for my customers in my sideline business, Weide-Market, is the business model canvas. I use the business model canvas to help my customers understand what their business is, how their business, the different parts of their business fit together. If you want to download a link, if you want to download the business model canvas template, you can click on the link on my either Facebook page, my YouTube channel, or my TikTok profile or IG profile, whichever one you prefer. In my profile description or in the YouTube and Facebook website pages, website links, you'll be able to find my link tree where you can access the business development business model canvas. So the business model canvas covers nine aspects of a business. These 9 aspects is number one, your customer segments. Who are your customers? What do they look like? What are their pain points? What are their jobs to be done? What is it that they aim to do with your product and or service? What value can you add to that customer? So what is the customer segments that your business or rather you want to serve and add business to? Flapjacks. Yes, I like Brightflies. Thank you very much. I am South African after all. Yay, my power just came back. Woohoo! Let's just cast some light onto the subject. Yay, now you should be able to see me better. Exciting times. Load shedding over for the evening. Right. So the business model canvas covers customer segment number one. Number two, your value proposition. So your value proposition is something that I used to struggle with in my own business. And this can be addressed by using the value proposition canvas. The value proposition canvas, on the one hand, has your customer profile, which includes the gains, the customer needs, the pains the customer currently experiences, and the job the customer wants to do. That job could be social, it could be professional, it could be intellectual. What job does the customer want to do? What gains do they need to be able to do that job? And what pains do they currently have in doing that job? Then you go look at your product and or services, your expertise, whatever it is that you want to bring to your customers, and you differentiate your products or services by gain creators and pain relievers. Then you need to match your pain relievers and your gain creators that of your products and services to the gains and the pains of your customer. This is how you create value propositions for your customer, and you input that into your business model canvas. In your business model canvas, we've covered the customer segments and the value proposition. The next step is channels. How do you reach your customers? How do you find your customers? How do you teach your customers about your product and or service? And how do you attract those customers? And how do you get your product and or services to those customers? Then next up, you need to analyze or you need to plan what kind of customer relationships you want. Do you want to have a direct customer relationship, or do you want a semi-interactive customer relationship where your customer interacts with the website and you support them in deciding what they want to do on your website? The next thing after that is number 5, the revenue streams. How will your business generate revenue? Now, by the way, the first 4 we covered now, customer segments, the value proposition, the channels, and the customer relationships determine the feasibility of your business. Do people want these things? Do they want to pay you, and are they willing to pay you? And this is, again, all of these 4 combined create the feasibility, answers the question of feasibility in your business. Then we look at revenue streams. How will your business generate revenue? How will your business generate income? Then we look at the key resources, key activities, and key partnerships that your business needs. And this is feasibility, viability. So the key partnerships, key activities, and key resources determine and answer the question of whether you can, whether your business is capable of delivering what customers need. And then we look at cost structure. How do you structure the cost and how do you charge your customer? How do you tell your customer, do you have a subscription cost? Do you have a monthly cost? Do you have a once-off cost? Do you have a product cost? How do you factor in the costs of your customers' solutions or products? And how do you factor in all of these aspects of getting the customer's product or solution to them? By the way, the cost structure and the revenue streams determine the viability. What is it worth? It answers the question of what is it worth to do these things for your customers? Right. We've covered the value proposition canvas, and both of these can be found in the business model canvas that you can download by going to the link in my bio. So we often try and create multiple streams of income in our lives. And the reason we want to start a side hustle is to create an extra income stream in our lives. We currently have, if we have a job, have one stream of income. And that is risky because if something happens to that income stream, whether our business needs to scale down or our employer needs to make adjustments in the salaries that they're paying, or for a certain period of time, the business can't do business because of strikes, whatever the case may be, we need to have extra income. We need to have multiple income streams. So people that have multiple income streams start by securing one income stream. Once you have your first income stream, which for employees is their salary or their commission or whatever they get paid to do their job, that is your first income stream. Once you are certain that that income stream is fixed and in place, you need to obviously keep that as satisfied as possible. Your employer needs to be satisfied with your work. So you cannot jeopardize that by doing business within business hours. You need to still be able to give your business the best during the contractual obligations you have for that business. But your side hustle can start creating extra income for you and can be your second income. Once you know that your second income comes in on a regular basis and maybe even produces more income than what you are currently earning from your employment, then only you can consider quitting your job and making your side hustle your main business, your main income. So there are also a couple of nuances around this, and that is important that we put certain things in place to be able to ensure that we run our side hustle business without jeopardizing our main income, as well as how do we choose when we quit our jobs to go into business for ourselves in full time. So that brings me to the end of what I was planning to present this evening during this live stream. Are there any questions? Is there anybody that has questions and or comments about what we covered this evening? Okay, thanks for sharing this live. I really appreciate that. And thanks for all the likes. Banzi and Garth, good evening. You're joining at the end of this live. On TikTok, I will still stay live for a couple of, probably another half an hour or so. But on YouTube and Facebook, I will end this presentation here. Thank you for everybody joining this. Remember to like, go over to the Facebook page or the YouTube channel and go check out the rest of the content. I really appreciate that a lot. I share ideas and tips around side hustle, growing your business, and how business development works, as well as some financial things. Milex on YouTube, thank you very much for joining. I really appreciate that. On screen is a QR code. If you could just go scan that with your phone and give me feedback about what you enjoyed about this. I can also share this in the comments. If you could click on that link and give me feedback, I'll really appreciate that. It is part of the Money Smart Week campaign to be able to gather feedback like that. What would be the best time for someone to leave his or her work for the personal business? Okay, thanks for the question on TikTok. I really appreciate that. So I would say if you get to a point where your side hustle, you see potential for your side hustle to grow fast enough to replace your income and replace your income consistently, then it would be time to start thinking about it and start making plans towards quitting your job and going into business full time. But if you have a side hustle, I would say that the side hustle needs to create or generate at least twice your income at work before you decide to quit your job and go into your business full time, because there are always ups and downs in business. And if your business doesn't regularly create more income than what you earn from your employment, I would not go into my side hustle full time just yet. I would definitely make the plans and put the plans in place, but definitely make sure that I have funds available. And this is what I spoke about on Monday evening in my Debt Enslaves webinar, where I spoke about making sure that you have an emergency fund. An emergency fund will enable you to go into your business and start growing your sideline business so that you can have funds available to cover the costs in the months that your business doesn't generate the income you were expecting it to. So thank you everybody for joining on Facebook and YouTube. I'm now going to end this broadcast and I will continue only on TikTok. If anybody on Facebook or YouTube wants to join the TikTok live stream, you can find me on TikTok on Weide-Market and come join the conversation there. Thank you very much. Stay blessed. Take care. I'll catch you on the flip side. Cheers.